concerning the celestial chamber and some of the things that are surfacing out there that need to be addressed. I will let everybody know when this call is going to be, so that we can clear some things up that, people are using things, and former interviews I've done, and they're grouping them together, and there's no clarity. It's becoming, mixed, and people are interpreting things wrongly, and I have to address this. It's got to be addressed as quickly as possible. So, I'll announce when we'll have that call yet this week, and it'll be at like 6 p.m. So any of you who have a heart-mind interest in helping with the CC, I suggest you be on that call so that we can clarify things, so that you guys, when you come across people that are spewing all this stuff out there, showing these CGI pictures of things and making comments and stuff, we've got to make sure that we all, as a family, stay on the forefront of clarity, truth, on integrated honesty about things, and not allow this to get out of hand with people that are throwing the word medbed, which we are not. We're not a medbed. We are a celestial chamber, and it's different than the med bed. As I've shared with people, we changed the name a handful of years ago because we did not want it to be associated with the Draco medical system. The word medical is connected to the Draco and the serpent and the cross, and it's just not. It's not of that essence. It did not come from that type of civilization. So I'll have that call this week so that people can become clear. And I know a lot of you are clear anyway, but it just makes good sense, because I shared this a long time ago. I said, use discernment, because things are going to start coming out of the woodwork. People are going to start claiming that they're selling them like hotcakes, and everybody's using them, and which is pretty normal. It's not like it was not going to take place or happen, but it's now starting to gear up in this country and across the planet. So we just want to make sure that we're an even keel and that we are clear. And I look at being right up front, clear, and integrated honesty, so that people don't get things mixed up or misdirected. That kind of leads into today's meditations, that most people don't take the time to redirect their attention on their infinite spiritual nature. So they may not think it is real, or that they can experience it at all. And it is very real. And it creates an experience of reality which we cannot compare to anything we've ever had before. It's as if we were living in a dark candle-lit, musty room for 25 years, could be anything, 50 years, 60 years, and suddenly found the door to walk outside and breathe the fresh spring air and feel the warm, radiant light from the sun. That's what it's like. It's as if a lot of us, as if we were living in this dark space, with a dark candle-lit, musty space for years, and suddenly found the door. What's this? And we walked outside to breathe in the fresh spring air and feel the warm, radiant light from the sun. It's so important for us to, in our own way, when we choose, that the enlightening experience is not something we can measure with any scientific device. Not yet. Not just yet. Rather, it's the experience of perpetual effulgence of our soul's radiant awareness. And it's seeing this world only through pure awareness. Only through pure awareness. Where there are no opinions, judgments, or mind chatter in the way. And when this happens to each of us, entire life around. We realize that who we really are is a mind-stopping experience. We are indescribable, unattainable, and exist far beyond the imagination of these minds that we have, these limiting minds. And if we wanted to have a momentary taste of what enlightenment is, we must do something completely radical with how we're typically spending our time. That's not easy. You know, a lot of us we have a regimen. Maybe we don't know it, but we kind of go through the movements in life. It's okay, I do this. What I do is I'll always shift things, you know, so you don't get in the regimen. And that's exactly this, every day, same thing. You know, there's a particular time that you eat. There's a particular time that you do this. There's a particular time that you do this, and you prepare this, and you do that. Always shift it so you won't get into that, which many of us do. We get into this routine, and you know, and what does the routine do? Because we've already know it, we've done it so many times. You get bored and you take things for granted. So you kind of get numb in a way. So what you do is that you stop whatever agendas you currently have with your life, and then you do your best to let go of everything you thought to be real or true, and entertain the possibility that who you are is an undefinable infinite being. We're all eternal souls that were never born and thus will never ever cease. Okay? As souls, we look at birth, but we were never born. We were. See? Once we start understanding this, our souls, it's not like they were sprung forth. It's that understand we're all part of the one. We're all part of the God, the pure consciousness. And so, just like in the quantum realm, we're particles in a vast creation. And we all have our own consciousness, each of us, which is part of the one consciousness, the pure consciousness. So if we were to stop, you know, whatever agendas we currently have with our lives and let go of everything we thought to be real or true, and then entertain the possibility that who we are is an undefinable infinite being, an eternal soul that was never born and thus will never, ever die. And by taking this, choosing to take this dynamic leap in our consciousness into letting go of all limiting ideas about ourselves, all limiting ideas, no limit, you'll soon find the enlightened state blossoming within you, not somewhere outside, you know, not around that corner, behind that door, within you. Do whatever you can to not let this idea that your personal problems and life issues are blocking you from enlightenment. Don't let this idea that your personal problems and life issues are blocking you from enlightenment. Okay? Think of them like particles of sand between your toes. Depending on how you move through life, they will either grind or massage your feet. You've experienced that where, you know, you get sand in your feet, and sometimes it's very irritating, and you wash it off because, you know, it's in between the toes and stuff, and depending on different elements, or it feels really good. You know, your feet are dry, and you just kind of put your feet in the warm sand, and it feels good, soothing. So understand that analogy. Your personal problems and life issues are blocking you from enlightenment. You can't let that idea perpetrate. You think of them like particles of sand between your toes, depending on how you move through life. And they will either grind or massage your feet. So, you know, your personal problems and life issues, you can choose. They're either going to grind or massage your feet. It's up to you, no one else. And the most challenging that we don't know yet. So how are we supposed to look at it that way? Okay, but it doesn't take much. You simply take the approach to explore every experience in your life with a genuinely open mind and childlike curiosity. Aren't you guys, you'll understand as you're coming full circle that you realize that you're curious. We're naturally curious beings. All of us are. We may not express it to others at times, but we're curious. We're constantly being curious about things. And if you remember when your body was small, you were curious about things. You didn't know about them. Of course, you didn't have any blocks or fears. You just wanted to know about them. I've used a few times. I've used the analogy. Some of you may have experienced this, where your children, when they were young, or neighbors' kids or something, or somewhere. There's one of the children will zero in on you, and you're doing something, right? And you forgot that you were a child, and you still have that childlike energy in you. And so you're looking more in the adult, quote-unquote, serious life, quote-unquote. And so they start asking you things. To you, it's ridiculous, okay? It's kind of funny. Because they're asking you, let's say you're washing your car, and they say to you, what are you doing? Usually you look up, and there they are. They're on their bike or trike or whatever, or they're just there. What are you doing? I'm washing the car. What are you doing with the tire? I'm washing the tire. Why do you have to wash the tire? Well, because the tire's dirty. Why is the tire dirty? This is curiosity. This is what we kind of lose a lot. It's still there, though, because it surfaces with us in different situations in our lives. It's a good thing. It reminds us, you imagine that we're conscious, and we say, this reminds me when I was in a small body. This reminds me of what I used to do. And ask the adults or the larger bodies what they were doing. And then continually ask, because you're so curious, you want to ask as many questions as you can about what they're doing. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be anything. So you take the approach to explore every experience in your life with a genuinely open mind and childlike curiosity. Stick to this like super glue, and you'll eventually become enlightened. You want to know a real clean, simple understanding of enlightenment? I just gave it to you. Okay? Don't let this idea that your personal problems and life issues are blocking you from enlightenment, because they're not. Think of them as like particles of sand between your toes. Depending on how you move through life, they will either grind or massage your feet. It all depends on how you embrace life, how you view it for yourself. And then when we come across the most challenging people in our lives, we immediately will say, wow, this guy or gal is really challenging to me. And you say, well, they're teaching me some really heavy duty stuff. That they're my greatest teachers. So you simply take the approach to explore every experience in your life with a genuinely open mind and childlike curiosity. Stick to this like super glue, and you'll eventually become enlightened. Life has an incredible wisdom to download into our consciousness. It's bigger than what we can conceive of. This entire world is designed to enlighten us, to heal us, to empower us, and to dissolve your ego, your you. The sun shines down, and its image reflects in 1,000 different pots filled with water. The reflections are many, but they are each reflecting the same sun. Similar, when we come to know who we truly are, we will see ourselves in all people. Amachi. wonder, what does an enlightened being understand that other people don't? I've had this question asked me several times. Just what does an enlightened being understand that other people don't? Well, they simply see how everything is connected to a cosmic, intelligent web of energy, love, and information that physically exists in between every atom in this universe. Picture that. Okay? They simply see how everything is connected to a cosmic, intelligent web of energy, love, and information that physically exists in between every atom in this universe. An exponentially increasing flow of deep inspirational insights happens with every thought which passes through. It is unimaginable to many, yet the moment you let go of this small limiting identity, who you've been conditioned to believe is you, and you dive deeper into trusting this omnipresent intelligence, your inner light switches on. Your inner light. And you'll know it because your body becomes deeply relaxed. This is how you'll know it. People say, well, how are you going to know that when your inner light switches on? Because your body becomes deeply relaxed and your mind becomes supremely empty, soft and receptive to every possible experience that flows your way. We're all journeying, all of us. We're all journeying towards enlightenment. It is a constant celebration of life. Constant. Not intermittent, not once in a while, not once in every blue moon, but constant. Living every moment with the recognition that we are all intimately connected to a power that is so great, so intelligent, and loving that you wouldn't trade it for all the diamonds, gold, and money on this planet and throughout the universe. This living, breathing, highly conscious, intelligent energy is all-powerful, and it is always, infinitely and eternally flowing through each and every one of us. It is around us instantly, available to us. It loves us deeply. Enlightenment is fully surrendering to this truth every day, everywhere that you are. Now, I think that we all know, most of us, nothing ever happens by accident in this enlightened universe. The universe is an enlightened universe. And we also know, even though some people use this incessantly, there's really, coincidence, that's a coincidence, that's a coincidence, that's a coincidence. That is a word that's been invented so we can explain things away that we don't understand. There are no coincidences in the enlightened being's understanding of life. Even your decision to read is not an accident. Every experience is always the right experience for that moment in our journey. Once you get this, once each of you get this, that every experience is always the right experience for that moment in your life journey, all of our life journeys. Life is the perfect teacher for us. How can an infinitely intelligent universe ever make a mistake? Every lesson our soul came here to learn is being provided for us through each breath and experience that we are given. Through each breath and experience. Our spiritual path into enlightenment is our path home. The universe is constantly here guiding us, helping us to remember and reawaken the realization of our awesome, true, radiant self. Dramatically shift into a higher enlightened state. Dramatically. silent, lest we may hear the whispers of God. Let us be silent, lest we may hear the whispers of God. When you go into silence, and you go into, you still the mind in the now and the meditation, one of our teachers, Christ, Jesus, the great master, once said, the kingdom of God is within you. What did he really mean? Really, some people say, what does he really mean by that? He was inferring that everybody has this innate connection to the great inner kingdom, not just a sacred few. That's very important to understand. He was conveying this message to a group of the whole civilization who was bicameral. That's a tough thing to do. Okay? I take my hat off to him a lot because he stepped up and figured out a way he wanted to get this message out. He was inferring that everybody has this innate connection to the great inner kingdom, not just a sacred few. The Christ consciousness is this kingdom. The Christ consciousness is frequency, is energy, it's pure consciousness. And it is effortlessly and instantly found by anyone who surrenders to it. You see how they've twisted things with man-made religions on this planet? You are already connected to this amazing state of consciousness right now. Right now. Yet, you may not feel it because the mind is blocking the way. See, once you begin to understand this, it's really releasing for all of us. See, you're already connected to this amazing state of consciousness right now, right in this moment to moment. Yet, you may not feel it because the mind is blocking the way. Only when the mind becomes completely relaxed and trusting of life can it fully be revealed. So when you fall naturally into the deepest stillness and silence within you, you'll discover this awesome enlightening consciousness is already there. Remember, the Christ consciousness is pure consciousness. It is the highest state of consciousness that there is. There is nothing more loving, accepting, insightful, appreciative, and jovial than this enlightened state of mind. Believe it or not, this is our most natural state. Isn't that amazing? Look at your brothers and sisters without judgment. View them as reflections of different aspects of ourselves. What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? When we choose to be at peace with ourselves over everything else, be at peace with ourselves over everything else in the universe, we naturally begin to connect with this deeply profound spiritual healing energy that resides at the core of our being. And we constantly overlook these higher states of consciousness because the mind is so preoccupied and clinging to its extensive variety of desires, thoughts, and fears. And the mind basically becomes so busy that it forgets that a more enlightened experience of life is available to explore in each new moment. Now, most of us, we're all taught as children how powerful and important the mind is. And so we blindly follow the mind. We tag along. We remain extremely close to it, and we believe in it wherever it goes. Unknowingly, we waddle along the one thought to the next, grasping onto every dip and wiggle like we are the chick and it's the great mama duck. Now, you may find that weeks, months, and years can pass by where you are consistently following the mind 24 hours a day around without a break. Without a break. We may even believe that we have no other choice than to hang on to the tail of the mind and be pulled along with its desires forever. So the mind's hypnotic spell over us is deep and yet extremely tantalizing, as we may feel lost without it. And we are often happily caught in its habit of reaching into this wonderful, delicious world of desires. Sometimes it happens in a rare moment or situation in life that we suddenly stop following the mind. A deep relaxation occurs and we realize that we do not have to follow our thoughts at all. We eventually understand that our desires will create into reality or manifest for us at the right time. And so we can simply bask and enjoy the expansive glory of the great universe around us. It is from this mind-stopping space that a deeper inquiry arises within us to find where is the source of this mind. And when we peer inside to see where our thoughts are originating from, it causes the mind to become very quiet. And it is this silence which unlocks the door to finding our connection with the Christ consciousness within. And the greatest magical moments of our lives begin to create into reality and manifest the moment we step back from our desiring, seeking, searching, needy mind. And when we rest into the stillness at the center of our hearts, the mind must let go. The heart stills the mind. Remember that. The heart stills the mind. The mind must let go when you choose to rest in the stillness of the center of your heart. Life instantly becomes a serene, perfect, and naturally centered experience. How would you like that? How would you like your life to instantly become a serene, perfect, and naturally centered experience? We feel there is an eternity ahead of us. And in this healing space, we stop trying to create, achieve, or change anything in this world. It feels so good just resting here with existence, revealing our natural divinity, while appreciating and accepting the entire universe just exactly as it is. And it is in this merging of a quiet, trusting mind and the deepest relaxation in the body where the Christ consciousness abides. And discovering this place inside you will heal many layers and lifetimes of doubts, worry, and fear. The enlightened state enters us automatically when the mind truly stops. And when the mind stops, our consciousness expands, and we enter that state. They happen simultaneously, as if they were two sides of the same coin. The very moment we become completely relaxed and at peace with everything in this life, this highest consciousness must move into us and act through us. It has no other choice. I am mankind just like you, but at the same time, I am God. Who said that? Who said that? I am mankind. I am mankind just like you, but at the same time, I am God. Jesus said that. Another enlightening tip to reveal the Christ consciousness within each and every one of us, it takes a little creative exploration and personal commitment. Because this amazing enlightened state is so precious, powerful, and transforming. It resides in the place we would least expect it to be. Our Christ consciousness is not discovered through pushing to find the highest experiences or attempting to resist or avoid the lower experiences. It's not found from trying to only think positive thoughts, nor rejecting those fearful parts of yourself that are not so positive about life. Christ consciousness is much bigger than the mind, and is something that finds you when you are naturally at peace with both extremes. And when you are walking the middle path of life, that place which is free from any clinging to the higher and resisting the lower, a great feeling of freedom enters you. And there's no struggle to change anything in life on the middle road. And we see that our consciousness is completely perfect, and it knows everything is perfect as it is. And there is this feeling of extreme peace. We know we have already arrived at the great kingdom, so it's not trying to get anywhere special. The best part, however, is that the mind becomes crystal clear and is no longer running the show. We become liberated from the demanding, striving, obsessive ego, and we realize how wonderful it is to relax and enjoy the simple experience of being alive. And only through finding this middle way in every action, thought, situation we are in, can we transcend our clinging mind, surrender to Source, and discover an effortless freedom from our relentless ego. And on the path of surrender, our highest consciousness becomes infused in everything that we do, because the mind is no longer pushing towards what it wants, nor trying to get away from what it doesn't want. We can actually relax in the spirit experience of the now. We suddenly find very easy to let it go, and let go of those typical issues which normally irritate and worry us, because we are so enthralled in amazing natural expanse of the divine universe flowing around us. You can lose only what you cling onto. You can lose only what you cling onto. Who said that? Buddha. In a way, we're all Buddhas. So remember, you can only lose what you cling onto. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure you all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies, head to toe, inside and out. Release, surrender all of the attachments that you've magnetized and attracted. All your fears, worries, stresses, anxieties, all your hurriedness, all of it. Does it do? Why would you hold on to it? There's no reason to. It impairs you. It weighs you down. It blocks the universe. It blocks the Christ consciousness. Let it go. Let it go. Because guess what? Everything that you cling on to, you will lose eventually. That's not a fun thought, is it? So relax the body, head to toe, drop the shoulders. You know where your stress and tension lie. Many of us cringe our shoulders, don't even know it. Sometimes they're so cringed up, and we finally take a breath and go, holy cow, was I that stressed? You drop them down, you breathe easy, the body responds, you move into the now. The now. The now of everything, moment to moment, space between heartbeat. How do you think you still the mind? In the now. No other way to still that mind. It's so incessant. Only in the now. In the now we create our futures. See, unfortunately, many of us skip the now. We either live in the past or the future, and we skip the now. So that's why so many of us cannot still the mind, and that's why so many of us block the Christ consciousness and the universe's abundance. That's why. because we spend all of our time in the past or the future, or a combination of the both. And the now, we hardly ever visit, if at all. Many of us will go into the past, we reminisce, we all hear music or in conversation or just a remnant thought that seduces us into reviewing or reliving or experiencing that feeling. But then we move on. But unfortunately, we don't go in the now. We skip the now and go, and then we go into the future and wander around. See? And there's no future there because we haven't created it yet. In the now. Now, some of us will go in the past, stay there too long. Then we bring it into a future that doesn't exist. We create the future out of that past and we leave that past in that future. So, we're going over these old things that we've already experienced. Isn't that's so mucky? Why would we do that? Because the mind is front and center, that's why. So in the now, you create the future. The moment to moment, you still the mind. This opens you up to enlightenment, an enlightened state. This opens up the Christ consciousness, the universe's abundance. Why wouldn't you be highly inspired and motivated to be there in the now? How do you stay in the now? Very difficult for most of us. You breathe. Your breath. You focus on your breathing. Not through the ego mind, but the heart mind. You ease in the breath, divine positive energy. You ease it out the mouth. In the nose, out the mouth, divine positive energy. Why? Why is it so divine? It's just breath. It sustains the vessel that holds the God, the kingdom of God, the Christ consciousness. It can't be anything else. So when you focus on the breath, you know exactly that you're in the now. Then you take it from there. So as we breath in this divine positive energy, we have these energy vortexes. They're called chakras. They're etherical, which means they're spiritual. So they're not physical, they're spiritual. So they go up through the center of our bodies, and they're different colored wheels of light, and the different one holds in the wheel of light a flower. Different flower, every one, and in the center, different geometrical shapes, every one. These are conduits. They bridge from the spiritual to the physical, back from the physical to the spiritual. Basically, they're gateways of deep eternal love, gratitude, abundance, happiness, and joy. Total release. Embracing Christ consciousness with each and every one of us. The kingdom of God. So also, we run our God force energy directly through all these conduits, all these chakras, from the base of our spine all the way to the top of our heads. What is the God force energy? It's what's keep these bodies running. Okay? It's an highly engineered interplay of spiritual and physical, blending and moving and flowing consciously. So we start with the root chakra, the red wheel of light, the Muladhara. This is our career, our money mindset, and sense of belonging. Root chakra represents our foundation of feeling of being grounded, which means we're consciously aware. In locations at the base of the spine, tailbone area. Emotional issues. There's survival issues such as financial independence, money, and food. Physical association is our spine, rectum, legs, and circulatory system, our arms. When we move to the orange wheel of light, the Svadhisthana, this is sexuality and pleasure. Our connection and ability to accept others and new experiences. It's in our lower abdomen, about 2 inches below the navel and 2 inches in. What are emotional issues with this chakra, the Svadhisthana? Now, their sense of abundance, well-being, pleasure, and sexuality. If you're having issues with yourself in any of these areas, you can focus on the Sacral Chakra and find out just exactly what it is your mind is suppressing to keep you from experiencing the bliss that you are. It's physical association, reproductive organs, kidneys, bowels, and immune system. Then we move to our solar plexus chakra, confident and in motion with our lives every single second through the heart-mind. It's our upper abdomen and the stomach area. And what are our emotional issues? Our self-worth, our self-confidence, and big time our self-esteem. This civilization has a very low self-esteem. Physical association, central nervous system, pancreas, liver, digestive tract, and skin. Then we move to the emerald green wheel of light, the heart chakra, the anahata. This is our love, relationships, and self-acceptance. It is our ability to love. Isn't that interesting? In the deep core of our very being, we are love. And so many of us misunderstand that we have difficulty in our ability to love. And love is so misunderstood on this planet. Location center of the chest, just above the heart. What are the emotional issues? Love, joy, and inner peace. Physical association, our heart, thymus, lower lung, circulatory system, immune system. Then we go to the throat chakra, the blue wheel of light, the Vishuddha. This is our ability to communicate, self-expression. It's in our throat. Emotional issues are communication, self-expression of feelings, and the truth. Physical association, thyroid, respiratory system, teeth, and vocal cords. And then we move to the third eye chakra, the ajna, the indigo wheel of light. This is our intuition, sense of purpose, and direction in life. It's our ability to focus on and see the big picture. You just don't see the trees, you see it all. The location is the forehead between the eyes. You call it the brow chakra because it's right between the brow and the eyes. It sets up a little bit. Emotional issues are intuition, imagination, wisdom, ability to think and make decisions. What's our physical association? Pituitary gland, eyes, and sinuses. Then we move to the crown chakra, the Sahasrara. This is the connection to the divine, the Christ consciousness, the kingdom of God, the heaven. This crown chakra is our highest chakra, represents our ability to be fully connected spiritually. It's the very top of our heads. Emotional issues, inner and outer beauty. It's how we view ourselves. Many of us don't view ourselves too well. Our connection to spirituality, pure bliss. Walking hand in hand with the Christ consciousness that you are, the pure consciousness of existence. Everything and everything, nothing and nothing. Your physical association, pineal gland, brain, and nervous system. We are all consciously aware that we are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love. That we are also of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And we have this energy at the top of our heads, and we hold it for a brief moment. I am light, I am love, I am. And in that brief moment, you condense and compress it into pure liquid energy, and you release it over the pineal gland. You view the pineal gland through your motion picture and your heart mind any way you choose. I look at it as a rosebud, green ball, and I release this pure liquid energy, and it immediately blooms full blossom, vibrant, multicolored petaled rose with a beautiful fragrance, eternal, sending out soft waves of deep eternal love and gratitude and abundance. And it opens up to all the gateways of existence, all the particles of existence, all the pure consciousness, Christ consciousness, the God, and beyond. This is important to us as we're in these bodies. You will one day discover that you can be everything and everything and nothing at the same time. We're merged. The soul, the spirit, the higher cherubim, seraphim archetypes. We have the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, and Thoth. Many, many, many more. Now, both of them are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. Now, the archangels, they vibrate at a different frequency than we do. Therefore, we don't see them like we see each other. But we do meet with them throughout our lives, throughout many lives. And we don't really, it doesn't dawn on us until later that that's an angel. That's a reflection of me. I'm a reflection of them. Now, it could be a neighbor, a spouse, it could be a friend, a stranger, an acquaintance, but there's a lot of them. Trillions. And that's why 10, 50,000, 60,000 can surround any one of us at any one time. Because of their frequency, they can house a small area in a large group. Now, the Ascended Masters, those are those who have mastered ascension out of body, hold pure God form, pure consciousness. We ascended into body to experience physical form, to learn, and to create our experiences so we can perfect our creation. They are reflections of us as we are them. We are compelled to call out to all of the other reflections of ourselves. In everything and everything, and nothing and nothing. So, we reach out to all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation of forming the circle of light. Now, they come in the Plexus. One Plex fills this entire universe. They come in the trillions of Plexus from every direction. And they are with us now. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. Many civilizations, many, many, and many, many, many species. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of this circle of light. They come in the billions. They're with us now. See all this in your heart minds. Feel it. See it in your motion picture as we gather for this liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. See it move. See everything move in. Experience the light, the love, the Christ consciousness, the kingdom of God. We call upon all the off-worlders, all the galactics, all the celestials, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this meditation and this now form of the circle of light. Now, we're only familiar with just a handful of them, and we're only somewhat familiar. And over 1,000 travel through this solar system every day. And the ones we are somewhat familiar with, this includes all their levels and species of each civilization, both the good and the bad. We have the Pleiadians, we have the Sirians, Andromedans, Arcturians, Feline, Zeta understand that they are conscious, only those that are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation. Their frequencies are low. There's no way they can sustain their presence. Period. Now, they've been assisting us in our evolution, our enlightenment, our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they come in the billions. And they are with us now. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation of forming the circle of light. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms, on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, in this meditation of forming the circle of light. Only those that are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation of forming this circle of light. Now, we're only familiar with just a fraction of them. They come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which maybe 1% we see. And the ones we are familiar with, fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur, many, many, many more. And they come in the trillions, and they are with us now. We're all gathered. We're all gathered, connected, reflecting each other. Arm in arm, hand in hand, all of our gods one. We're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, and abundance. We're all one. We're all God. And we're all love. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We begin to ascend above this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, this meditation, forming a circle of light, and we form this massive circle of light. It is the Christ consciousness. It's pure consciousness. It's the God. This is the highest vibrational frequency that there is. Ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. This is so bright that it grays out the darkness of space. It would take over 1,000 to 1 billion suns in the solar system even to come close to its brilliance. It saturates all things, everything and everything, nothing and nothing, in deep eternal love, from head to toe, inside and out. This very planet, her very essence, all of us, constantly being flooded in this deep, pure, eternal love, which is complete bliss, joy, and we've stilled the mind, and we're in the center of pure consciousness, the God, the Christ consciousness, and we're pure bliss. As we continue to ascend, we come into a gossamer field that is a sea. It's everywhere, and it's trillions of these little mirrors of a multitude of vibrant colors reflecting in every direction. See it in your heart-mind's motion picture. Watch it in full motion. It's absolutely magniglorious. It's spectacular. It's phenomenal. All of us reflecting each other, parts of each other, parts of all of us. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column that reminds each and every one of us that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column that reminds each and every one of us of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column that reminds each and every one of us that we are imbued head to toe, inside and out, with an impenetrable God force armor. Pure, deep, eternal love, Christ consciousness, pure consciousness, the God. It cannot be violated from any external power source, any configuration, manipulation, period. It's impregnable from any externality. But only you have the power. Only you, if you decide, whether consciously or unconsciously, lower your vibrational frequency in fear, anger, hate, greed, jealousy, envy, all of these and more. You will lower your vibrational frequencies low enough, you will create a breach in your armor, allowing the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. If you do this, you're immediately met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column that reminds each and every one of us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, and we can send it back to pure consciousness, where they are no more. We are then met with the violet ray. This is a column that reminds each and every one of us that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, and we can cleanse and purify the area where these low frequencies were, therefore sealing the breach in our armor, restoring our vibrational harmony of deep eternal love. Then we're met with the golden white pink light. This is a column that reminds each and every one of us we are the sunsets. We are the sunrises. We're the rainbows. We're the rain. We're the mist. We're the waterways. We're the soil. We're the trees. All reflections of us. All of us. When we continue to ascend above this planet, and as we do, some of us step outside our physical forms and float effortlessly above them, and we gaze upon a crystalline light tower. It's massive. We created this. It is larger than our solar system. It is effortless to see in its center this massive oblong sphere with a golden white light in the center doing soft pulsing waves out, and multitude of vibrant colored waves surrounding it, lightly and softly pulsing waves out, saturating and flooding and bathing all of us inside and out, head to toe, of Christ consciousness, of that which we are. Pure consciousness. God. Pure consciousness. All of us. Gratitude. Generosity. Gentleness. Kindness. Humbleness. Bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, and abundance, and prosperity. It's unending. Each one of these waves flooding us with each of these. And at the top, we designed it so the golden ocean can come flooding down 360 degrees, saturating, flooding all of us, bathing all of us, head to toe, inside and out. And that's what it's doing eternally. Each of us are the drops of that golden ocean, and we carry the essence of that ocean. The drops are the ocean are the drops. The one. Then we see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. This sphere we created well over 2 1,000 of our meditations in perpetual motion. See this in your heart-mind's motion picture as it moves, as a watcher. Feel the vibrational frequency of deep eternal love, pure consciousness, the God, Christ consciousness, our natural state of being. See the vastness of the sacredness of space, all filled with all of us. Everything and everything, nothing and nothing, for the liberation of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. That's why this meditative sphere, which we've created, can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And this is why it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. Feel the communication. Genuinely. Open who you are. And understand you can only lose. You can only lose what you cling on to. Let it all go. Surrender. We did not come here to believe it's normal to live in states of desire, struggle, and suffering. Do you need this and have to buy that in order to be happy, and without it you cannot relax and just be content with life as it is? When our civilization has gotten used to being needy, and this causes loads of suffering, the habit of resting and relaxing and stillness is our natural state of being. Acceptance of this life as it is. It is so cosmic and empowering and transformative, you'll never go back to striving for anything again. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. believe that it is quite normal to live in states of desire, struggle, and suffering. We need this and have to buy that in order to be happy, and without it, we cannot relax and just be content with life as it is. This civilization has gotten needy to being needy, and this causes loads of suffering. The habit of resting and relaxing in stillness, acceptance of life as it is so cosmic, empowering, and transformative, you'll never go back to striving for anything again. But be patient with yourself, as this suffering habit is accepted by everyone. This entire society are like children who have been given one pair of shoes to wear at birth, and years later, they are 5 sizes too small. We've all been wearing these tiny shoes for so long, so many years, that we have just accepted the experience that life typically is small, tight, and confined. These small shoes come in many styles and forms, such as the plethora of rules, regulation, laws, and moral superstructure of any overly controlled, untrusting society, civilization. We're all wearing tight, tiny little wooden shoes, and we don't know how to take them off. We have shrunken ourselves to fit into them and believe that this is who we are. We don't so easily accept that the Christ consciousness is our basic nature and our soul's natural destiny. Everyone is blindly following around the ego-driven mind. And so we should do what is normal, otherwise we won't fit in and find happiness. What every one of us really should be doing first thing every morning is breaking free from this mass societal hypnosis. Realize that Christ consciousness is our very nature, the pure consciousness, the God. And when we stop running to catch up with the other rats, and we sit and realize that finding an enlightened way of seeing life is the most important thing we can do with our time, we start living in a new life that is constantly bubbling up joy, creativity, love, and energy within each and every single one of us. After a few days of this, you will find suffering has stopped showing up on your radar. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. And we will return here Wednesday, October 14th, 2020, at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we will also be here for the Time for Change Awakening call at 9 p.m.